Your little babe is growing up really fast and you are ready for the next parenting rite of passage, picking out your convertible car seat. Today we are talking top convertible car seats of 2024. I personally have 2 convertible car seats in my vehicle right now, rear facing and forward facing, so I am all in on the convertible car seat topic. I am Melissa of the Snuggle Bugz team, mama of 2 adorable little boys, and I just can't wait to talk to you about all of the amazing convertible car seats available at Snuggle Bugz. Now, today we are going to be reviewing, what is a convertible car seat, what differentiates one from the next, but let's kind of talk about some of the top level specs here. So your convertible car seat is that mid-range car seat. So if you've used an infant car seat first, then they're often graduating to a convertible car seat around that 10 to 12 month mark. And then you're using your convertible car seat all the way up to a booster stage. Convertible car seats, some of them can actually be used from infant. So if you're not driving very often or you want to have a convertible as a secondary infant car seat, that's an option too. The world is your oyster, as I love to say. So what differentiates one seat from the next is, how long you can be rear facing. So some of these seats can be rear facing to 40 pounds, some to 50 pounds. In forward facing mode, all of these seats are going to be used up to 65 pounds. Now, when we talk about rear facing, let's talk about how long we should be rear facing, because did you know that the rear facing position is the safest position for your child to be in the vehicle? So if you're ever in a collision, if your child is rear facing, that car seat is going to be absorbing so much more of the impact of a collision. So you really want to maximize your rear facing capabilities of your car seat before turning them around to forward facing mode. I know the premium standard is to reach that 4-year mark. That's ideal state. We do recognize not all families are able to get quite that far, but if your child's only 1.5 years, they are way too young to be forward facing. So you really want to max out your rear facing capabilities and be delaying as long as possible until you get to forward facing. So today we are going to be reviewing the Uppababy Knox, the Cybex Sirona, the brand new Britax Poplar seat, the Perego Kinetic, the Nuna Rava, and the Clek Foonf and Fllo seats. So let's dig in. Now we know that so many of our friends are once an Uppababy, always an Uppababy. So many people who have gone through the Vista Mesa combo are now looking for their convertible car seat and interested in the Uppababy Knox convertible car seat. So this car seat can accommodate a child in rear-facing mode from 14 to 40 pounds and in forward-facing mode up to 65 pounds. Now, some really interesting features about the Uppababy Knox that I want to call out is in the base here, you've got this green line, which is actually part of their Coroid technology, which is an energy management system. If you're ever in the event of a collision, that really helps to manage the kind of collision forces and impacts to reduce and absorb on the car seat. So then you've also got your side impact protection on both sides of the seat, as well as this bubble level indicator so that you can get your babe in proper position based on the position and weight of your child. Now, one of the really cool things about the Uppababy Knox is while most convertible car seats will have an anti-rebound bar, instead of an anti-rebound bar, Uppababy actually has a multi-directional tether. So while normally you would just use a tether when you are in forward facing mode with your car seat, with the Knox, you're actually going to be using the tether in rear facing mode as well. So when I show you a rear facing install in a minute, we'll get into that. Now, taking a quick look at the interior of the seat, you have a nice 2-stage infant insert here that can just be easily removed as your child grows. You've also got a multi-adjustment no rethread harness. And one of our favorite features on any car seat is always these harness buckle clips just on the side here. You put your harness in there and it just really makes it so much easier to load your baby in and out of their seat. So that is the Uppababy Knox. Let's take a quick look at the install. Okay, so we've got our Knox set up in rear facing mode. So a couple things that I did just to kick us off is I did adjust my base so that it's at a more reclined position for rear facing mode. And then we've also got our multi-directional tether kind of ready to go. Now with this install, if you come in close, I've removed our infant inserts here, but what you can see is we'll pull our harness out of the way. We're going to remove our crotch buckle to pull up on the bottom of the seat. Now, when you pull up on the bottom of the seat, this is going to just be a zip. So you're gonna unzip here and really make sure that you expose this full bottom of the seat. Now you've got your blue section for your rear facing install and your red section for forward facing install. So I will pull my seat belt, lap and shoulder belt through this base, over to the other side, clip in. Then with the lap portion of the belt, so the bottom portion, you're going to feed it through this blue section at the back, ensuring that there are no twists and turns. And then you're going to really tighten up on this. So what you'll want to be doing is pushing down on that seat belt. You'll also want to make sure that your crotch buckle does not get caught in there. So you want to really push down, make sure that you're getting a great install. Uppababy has this smart secure install system. So once you are really nice and tight and properly secured and installed, then that will turn green. So you'll know you have a tight install. For the sake of today though, we'll just do a loose one where we are installing our the shoulder portion of our belt through these lock-off clips. You're gonna wanna pull up as much as possible. For the one that's closest to the seatbelt, you might not be able to, just with the angle, get it all the way up. That's okay. And then once you're fully positioned and you've really reefed on that seat to pull out any additional tension, you'll want to close this up, put your crotch buckle back through and get ready in seat mode. You will also need to lock off your seatbelt. So if you have a lock off, then you'll want to pull out to really until you hear that clicking so that there's no additional slack. Now let's take a look at this multi-directional tether, because we're going to take this off the back of the seat. Then you can see it kind of has this feed loop. So you'll want to feed it through there, and then we'll take it around to the back of our seat, and then you will install the tether like so, using the tether clip at the back of the seat. So that is the rear facing install with your seatbelt for the Knox. You can also install rear facing with the latch system that they have, and in forward facing, you can install with the seatbelt only. So Clek has two incredible convertible car seats. We're going to talk about them both today, and also I know that they look so similar, so we'll also use this as an opportunity to help you understand the differences. Now, Clek is a Canadian company, and the owners of Clek actually come from the automotive industry. So they have a really intimate knowledge of how a vehicle seat and a car seat need to work in harmony to maximize safety for your child. And that is how Clek car seats are designed, with safety top of mind. Now, we have the Clek Fllo here and the Clek Foonf. The Foonf is slightly more expensive than the Fllo, but let's talk about the similarities between these seats, and then I'll go in depth on some of the differences. So with both seats, you're getting adjustable headrest support. You're also getting a steel frame. You're getting a rethread harness with multi-position adjustments, and you're getting an adjustable crotch strap. So you're getting a 2-position adjustable crotch strap there. Both seats also have an anti-rebound bar that you would use in rear-facing mode. Now, with the Foonf seat, you are getting 3 recline positions, whereas with the Fllo, you only have the 1 recline position. With the Fllo, it is a very slim design. So while both of these seats can be used in as a 3 across option, we do find some families have a bit more success getting 3 Fllos in. Another thing that's worth mentioning is with the 3-position recline that you're getting on the Foonf, and based on how the rear-facing boot installs, which I'll show you in a second, you actually can save a couple of inches at the back of the seat when installed in rear-facing mode. So what that means is sometimes you have very little space between the vehicle seat where the car seat is attached to and the passenger or driver seat in front. So when you're able to have a different recline position, you can save a couple extra inches of space, and that gives you just a little bit more room in your vehicle. Now, with the Foonf seat, as I mentioned, you've got a boot for your rear-facing install that would be removed when installed in forward-facing mode. Whereas with the Fllo, you've got this, the boot is a little different. You would just flip it to the front if you're in rear facing and back to the back if you're in forward facing. Now with these seats, with the Foonf, you're getting a React technology, which is the technology that would be absorbing your crash forces in the event of a collision. And with the Fllo, you're getting an EACT version of that technology. So check out the Snuggle Learning Center for a full description on what the differences between those are. But this is just an added layer of protection that you get with the Foonf seat. With the Fllo, this seat is actually 10 pounds lighter than the Foonf and can accommodate a child in rear facing mode 10 pounds heavier. So what that means is both of these seats can be used in rear facing mode from 14 pounds. With the Foonf, you can use it in rear facing up to 40 pounds. And with the Fllo, you can use it in rear facing up to 50 pounds. So you are getting an extended rear facing option with the Fllo. In forward facing mode, both of these seats can be used up to 65 pounds. So some really great features with these seats. Now let's take a look at the rear facing install so that you can see just how easy it is. So both seats have the option to install using soft latches or your vehicle seatbelt, and the install method is the same for both. The one difference that I will call out is that with the Foonf, you also have these rigid latches at the back of your seat. So this is a seat that can actually be installed using rigid latches and your vehicle seatbelt at the same time in forward-facing mode. So when you're talking about getting a really secure, tight install to your seat, this is a great option. Now, looking at the rear-facing install for the Fllo, I mentioned earlier that we've got this boot. We're just going to make sure that this is in the rear-facing position. So flipping it up to the front and just clipping it in. And then we've also got, so we're going to remove our crotch cover here, and really just, there's two snaps underneath the seat that you're gonna take off to remove your seat and expose your vehicle lock off. So you're gonna open these up into their fully open position. You're going to, anything in blue is rear facing. So you've got your blue belt path here, you've got your blue lock offs, so you know that that's the guide that you need to be using. You're going to pull your vehicle seat belt, lap and shoulder belt through both positions, and then clip your seat belt into the buckle here. Then you're going to start removing tension, and really you want to be pushing hard on this seat to get a really nice and tight install at the end of the day. You're going to close your lock offs. There's one, there's our second, and then we are going to just put our seat cover back on, feeding the buckle back through, and that is how we finalize the install. Ultimately, you don't want your seat to be moving more than 1 inch forward and backward, and there you have the rear-facing install of the Fllo. That also applies to the Foonf. This is the Britax Poplar convertible car seat. Now, Britax took their best-in-class Boulevard, Marathon, and Advocate convertible car seat platforms and combined them all of the best features into this one brand new seat, the Poplar, which launched in 2024. Now, let's talk about some of the great features of the Poplar and the overall Britax safety DNA. So, talking about Britax safety, they've really been pioneers in the car seat industry for safety innovation. So first off, you've got your V-shaped tether, which really helps to secure your seat to your vehicle, and it also releases at a lower rate in the event of a collision. So these stitches are going to release slower, and that's going to help to absorb a lot of crash force impacts in the event of a collision. You've also got multi-layers of side impact protection, you've got safe cell technology built into the base, and you've got your Clictite installation. Now, Britax Clictite installation is one of the best installs in the car seat market. You've got your you're just going to click those two buttons together to open the base. You feed your seatbelt through, snap your base closed, ensuring that you hear that click, and it's installed. So you have such an easy install. And in a world where an alarmingly high number of car seats are actually installed incorrectly, having that no muss, no fuss, hassle-free install is so important. Now, some other features with the Poplar that I want to call out are that this seat can be used in rear facing mode from 5 to 40 pounds and in forward facing mode to 65 pounds. You've got a anti-rebound bar for use in rear facing. You've also got a multi-adjustment recline position, which is great. You've got 2 removable cup holders, and your fabrics are machine washable and able to put in the dryer. So some really great options there. You've also got a 14 position adjustment in the headrest. So a lot of opportunity to really maximize this seat to the comfort of your little babe. When you're ready to install your Poplar seat, there's a few things you're going to want to do first. First, you want to make sure that you get into the proper recline position. You can also use this level indicator on the side. Blue indicates the proper level positions for rear facing, green is for forward facing, and you've also got your belt paths, which are green for forward and blue for rear. So we're good on our recline position. Now, I feel so confident in this Clictite install and how fast it is that I'm gonna throw up a timer and see exactly how long it takes me to go. 3, 2, 1, go. So first we're gonna open up our Clictite door. We're going to pull our lap and shoulder belt through, feeding it through our rear facing belt paths at the back here on both sides. We'll plug it into our seatbelt base, removing any excess slack from the belt. Then we're going to close the belt tensioning door, making sure that we hear that click. And we are installed and ready to go. That took me 25 seconds. So that is such an incredible install. I'll mention that because you've got the lock off in the Clictite technology, you actually don't need to lock off your seatbelt like this. It's all in the base. And you know, the nice thing about the quick install of this seat is that it's so easy to move from vehicle to vehicle. So I know we've got 2 convertible car seats from Britax in my vehicle that have Clictite install technology. It's allowed us to not need to buy secondary car seats for a secondary vehicle because swapping seats between vehicles is just so fast and so easy. So that's my little endorsement for Clictite. This is the Nuna Rava convertible car seat. Now, people are obsessed with this car seat. It is definitely a top seller because it is so pretty and it's got some really great features. So let's dive right in. So first of all, when in rear facing mode, this seat can be used from 5 to 40 pounds. And in forward facing mode, it can be used up to 65 pounds. One of the cool things about the Nuna Rava is that it actually does have this little kick out adjustable calf rest support that just, as your child is growing and is rear facing for longer, it just gives them a little bit of extra support in their calves for more comfort when they're in their seats. Now you've also got a really nice leather covered anti-rebound bar. So that is nice because sometimes they can get pretty kicked around over time. So having this nice detailing is quite durable. You're also getting a really nice multi-position adjustable headrest with a no rethread harness. And one of the cool features about the Nuna Rava is that it has these side impact pods. So on the side of the vehicle that is closest to the vehicle door, you're gonna just pop out this side impact protection, and it just gives you that extra layer if you're ever in a side impact collision. You've also got your steel frame on this seat, and you've got a multi-position adjustable recline. So when you are in rear facing mode, you're just gonna press this button here to adjust your seat to rear facing recline. When you go into forward facing mode, you've got 5 different points of recline capability depending on the size and angle of your vehicle. So lots of ways to customize this seat. Now, the last thing I want to call out on the Rava before we get into the install is, again, we just love when seats have these little tongue and grooves on the side. That makes it easier to keep your harness out of the way when loading your child in and out of their seat. So on the Rava, you've got these little pockets here, and that just really helps to reduce fumbling and ensure that you're getting your child nice and comfortable in their seat before buckling up their harness. Okay, so we are ready to install our Nuna Rava in rear facing mode. Now, a couple things, I've already reclined my seat to the appropriate level for rear facing, and I'm gonna pop out these 2 cup holders on the sides of my seat because that is actually where my belt path is. It's just below those cup holders. So I like to give myself some extra room by moving up the headrest. I'm gonna open up the back and bottom of my seat. This is revealing our rear facing tension door and our forward facing tension door. I'll open that up. You can also see that this is where your soft latches are. So if you want to install with latches, that is where they are stored on your seat. So now I am pulling my lap and shoulder belt through the belt path underneath the cup holders on both sides, and then out into clipping into the car seat. Now you are going to want to really push on this seat to make sure you're getting a tight install. So you'll want to push the headrest back down and really use your body weight pulling up on the shoulder portion of your seatbelt to really get a tight install. This is something you need to focus on with the Rava to ensure that you're really getting that security. Once you are really nice and tight, you're going to close your belt tensioning door, plug your seat back in. Now, if you come around to this other side, so you'll want to lock off your seatbelt with the Rava because you don't have a built-in lock off on the seat. So you want to hear that ratcheting sound and with the clicking to ensure that you're getting a tight install. And you'll also want to ensure that the shoulder portion of your vehicle seatbelt is woven through. This is on the opposite side that your belt clicks in, and that further helps to lock off and secure your seat. Then you'll want to make sure you do the wiggle test to really ensure, again, that you have that tight install. And you're going to open your side impact protection on the side. Oh, we're already open, and so we are ready to go in rear facing mode with the Rava. This is the Cybex Sirona S convertible car seat. Now, this car seat is so cool because it can actually rotate 360 degrees. I'm going to show you it as part of the install, but it really does make loading your babe in and out of the car so much easier. So let's start from the top though with the specs. In rear facing, this car seat can be used from 4 to 50 pounds, and in forward facing mode, you can use this seat up to 65 pounds. You have a 12-point adjustable headrest, which if I loosen up my harness, you can really ratchet it up there. You've also got 12 different recline positions in this seat. So in forward facing, you've got a bit of an adjustment here, and then in rear facing, you've got even more adjustability. You've got a removable cup holder that you can have placed on either side. You've got your harness magnets to keep them out of the way when loading baby in and out. Some of the really cool features that I love though are the fact that this seat has a load leg built into the base, which is not super common for a convertible car seat, and we love to see that. You've also got a anti-rebound panel in the back of the seat that you're gonna use in rear facing mode. So I'll just turn around. So here you can see our anti-rebound panel. Now, one of the things that I love most about this seat and that make it so handy is that it is a one and done install. So you install it one time the same way for rear and forward facing, and then you're just using that swivel technology to actually transition your child from rear facing to forward facing. The last thing I want to chat about with this seat though is the additional safety features built into the harness clip. So you've got your sensor safe technology here. This would connect to your phone via Bluetooth and alert you if your child has unbuckled their clip, if they've been left in the car for too long, if it's too hot, too cold, or if they've been left unattended in the vehicle. So there's a lot of great safety features packed into that Okay, now let's get into our Cybex Sirona install. So first of all, I'm going to pull down my load leg from the base and make sure that that's set up correctly. Then I'm going to rotate my seat into rear facing mode. And we're going to be in the position that allows us access to this belt path door. So we're going to open up on this door. This opens up our belt path system. So here we're going to open these two levers that we're going to ultimately position our car seat through. Now I'll pull my vehicle seat belt, lap and shoulder belt through this belt path at the bottom here, underneath these gray, and then through the other side, clicking in my seat belt, then removing any kinks that might have formed. Now I'm going to feed my seat belt, the lap and shoulder belt, through these blue lock-off connectors, or sorry, belt paths. And then I'm going to push down on this gray piece in the middle. That's going to help to lock my seatbelt off. This top door can also be used to push it down into place until you hear that click. Then you're going to replace this section, put your belt door back over, and you are installed. You'll want to make sure that you have a nice tight install. Whatever side the vehicle door is on, you're also going to pop out that side impact pod for extra protection. And when you install this in forward facing mode, you're just going to rotate the seat. Actually, first you're going to release your tether at the back, rotate the seat, then install with the tether. Now, the great thing about this swivel technology is, as a parent, when I'm loading my child in and out of the vehicle, you really have this opportunity to rotate the seat, load your child in, harness them up before you're then putting them in the seat in forward or rear facing mode. So the Cybex Sirona has such cool technology that you've got to check out. This is the Perego Primo Viaggio Kinetic convertible car seat. Now, one of my favorite things about this car seat that I'm going to mention right away is the fact that it has an anti-rebound bar that's built into the base. So I love that you can actually just pop out this anti-rebound bar when you're in rear facing mode. And then when you move into forward facing mode, you can just push it back underneath the seat for onboard storage. I know all of us parents have a big basket of gear accoutrements that you don't want to lose track of. So it's nice when you have onboard storage for things, so it's one less thing to worry about getting lost. So you've got, again, your anti-rebound bar built into the base. Now with this seat, you can use it in rear facing mode from 5 to 45 pounds, or in forward facing mode up to 65 pounds. You have a multi-position height adjustment that can be even raised even further when the harness is loosened, and that's going to also automatically rethread your harness to the proper height. You've got multiple layers of side impact protection. In the side itself is where you're getting these kinetic pods that are in the name of the car seat. So those are going to help absorb the impact in the event of a collision. You also have a whole energy management system. So if you are in a collision, this car seat is really designed to absorb all of those impacts. Now, some other factors about this seat that I want to call out is that you have a tri-stage insert system that can be removed as your child grows. All right, so just before we install the seat, I do want to call out this really cool anti-rebound spacer that you can actually add to the back of your anti-rebound bar, which is going to give your child an additional 2 inches of leg room between their car seat and the vehicle seat. So as your toddler is growing, this is a really great option to extend their comfort in rear-facing mode. Now, when we're installing, we're going to recline the seat in rear-facing mode. So we'll make sure we've got that seat in the proper recline position before we install. And then we will use our belt path to do a full install. So we're going to weave our belt and shoulder and lap belt through the base of the car seat. There's just these panels that you're really going to connect through. You don't need to pick up the bottom of your seat cushion or anything like that. And then we will find the other side. Then we're going to click in and then you're really going to start pushing on the seat, really making sure that you're getting a tight fit. If your vehicle has a lock off, then you're going to pull out all of the slack and make sure that you hear that ratcheting sound, and then just really, really put a lot of weight on that seat to ensure that you're getting a tight fit. If your seat does not have a lock off in the seat belt, you can buy a separate piece to ensure that you're getting that lock off, because you really don't want more than 1 inch of movement in your seat in either direction. So that is the install on the Perego Kinetic convertible car seat. It is time for the Oscars, and by that I mean the Bugz Awards ceremony, because they're basically the same caliber, no? Okay, the winner for the best extended rear-facing, because we love a rear-facing car seat, goes to the Clek Foonf, which also gets an honorable mention for being a great seat for 3 across. The winner for best install, I mean, it's really no competition. This ClickTight technology is beyond. The Britax Poplar convertible car seat. The winner for coolest innovations in car seats goes to the Cybex Sirona. From the 360 swivel to the load leg in the base to the one-time install for rear and forward facing, this car seat has got it going on. So there you have it, the top convertible car seats of 2024. I hope that this content was super valuable in giving you a bit of an overview of all of the seats and how they differentiate one from the next. Our goal at Bugz is to instill confidence in families navigating the early stages of parenthood. We get it, you have a lot of decisions to be made. There's a lot of development going on in your baby's life. So we are here to help you walk on that journey, giving you all of the intel so that you feel confident making the perfect choices for your family. Now, if you want to check out some other videos, we've got comparison videos of a bunch of these seats today, as well as individual product reviews where we take it a step deeper. We show you multiple different install methods. We also have a bunch of stroller, high chair, etc. videos. So we've got it all on our channel. Check it out. And thank you so much for joining me today. We will catch you in the next video.